US President Donald Trump, it seems, has made a mockery of himself across the world. From making ludicrous claims to pushing his lies, no one is taking the US president seriously now. It seems not even its friend Pakistan. Despite rolling out the red carpet for Field Marshal Asim Munir, despite striking deals with Terroristan in a hope that it will endorse him for the Nobel Peace Prize, despite giving them leeway in tariffs, Pakistan has turned its back on the US president. Pakistan's foreign minister Ishaq Dar has said that his country did not ask anyone for help or to arrange talks with India during the conflict in May. These comments are like a slap on the face of Trump, who goes around claiming he was the one who brokered India-Pakistan ceasefire. Meanwhile, India has also once again fact-checked the US president over his repeated claims. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar asserted that ceasefire was negotiated between India and Pakistan, but Trump is trying to portray it differently.
And the third issue pertains to our own region, which is the issue of mediating. Since 1970s, for more than 50 years now, there's a national consensus in this country that we do not accept mediation in our relations with Pakistan. So here's my point. When it comes to the the interests of farmers, when it comes to our strategic autonomy, when it comes to opposition to mediation, this government is very clear. Our positions are there. If anybody disagrees with us, please tell the people of India that you're not prepared to defend the interests of farmers. Please tell the people of India you don't value strategic autonomy. We do. We will do whatever we have to do to maintain it.
Let's now go across to my colleague Sindoor Chaudhary, who is joining us live right now for more on this story. Sindoor, good afternoon. Firstly, can you explain to us how should we really read this statement coming in from Pakistani Minister Ishaq Dar?
Well, for once, he's actually close to the truth, or rather Pakistan is not telling lies. That's the only way you can put it. Let's face it, let's see just on the basis of two conversations what actually happened. Initially, when the Indian Air Force hit the terror camps, the Indian DGMO, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, called his counterpart and said, look, we've only hit terror camps. And the reply was the world will see what Pakistan will do. Now, 96 hours after that, the Pakistani DGMO called and said, can we have a ceasefire? And that was something India agreed with. Now, those are the facts. After that, anyone can say whatever they want to say. But the facts are there and are based on those two telephone conversations. Yes, anyone could have called. As External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said, anyone could have called anybody. Yes, that's true. Yes, there were many calls and from many people from parts of the world. But at the end of the day, India decided on the ceasefire after that call from Pakistan. And here, Pakistan is actually corroborating what India said.
Right. Well, one thing is absolutely clear with this statement coming in from Pakistani Minister Ishaq Dar, Sindoor, that it was Pakistan that dialed India for a ceasefire. And this is contrary to what US President Donald Trump has been claiming all this while, isn't it? And also, it should also settle this debate once and for all within the country, because opposition in the country chose to trust Donald Trump over Indian government, over the Indian leadership on this particular issue.
It was said very clearly by Lieutenant General Ghai publicly that a call came from the Pakistani DGMO, his counterpart, and it was only after that that a ceasefire was agreed upon. About that there is no doubt. Besides that, anyone could have called anybody. That's not the point. The question is, how did the ceasefire happen? And the ceasefire happened when the Pakistani DGMO called and said, can we have a ceasefire? And that's when India said yes.
Right. In fact, Srinjoy, I was also looking at another statement that Ishaq Dar, Pakistani minister, in fact, had made in June 2025, 20th June 2025 earlier, wherein he spoke about how, he spoke about a conversation that he had with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. At that time, he said that he had a conversation with him, and then with Saudi Prince as well, there was a conversation. Attempts were being made to somehow reach out to India because Pakistan clearly was rattled by India's attack. Pakistan never expected that India is going to respond in this manner. It was not prepared to deal with an attack of, the kind that it saw under Operation Sindoor. And now we have this kind of a statement coming in. How should we read the timing of this statement?
First of all, in the past, India has struck back, Balakot being one example, and the surgical strike being another. But at that time, India's strikes were in POK, which is basically Indian territory. So India struck in Indian territory. But this time, Pahalgam was such an affront, was such an outrage, that India decided that places like Bawalpur, which has a terror apparatus, where the Jaish-e-Mohammed has its headquarters, had to be hit. That message had to be sent, which is why Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters in Pakistan, in Bawalpur, was hit. And that was a deliberate effort. That was a decision taken by the government. In fact, even after Donald Trump said that he was responsible for bringing peace, or had already made those statements about the ceasefire, there was some talk within the Indian establishment of extending operations for another day, just to prove that it wasn't about Donald Trump, it was about the Pakistani DGMO. But at the end of the day, Indian operational requirements had been met, which is why the ceasefire was agreed upon.
Right. Srinjoy, I request you to stay on with us. We are joined by retired Major General A.K. Sivach, who is a defense expert. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now. So far, we've heard Donald Trump, the US president, taking credit for the ceasefire between India and Pakistan after Operation Sindoor. But now we have a statement coming in from Pakistani minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Ishaq Dar, who said Pakistan did not ask anyone to arrange talks with India. How do you see this development, and how will you interpret this statement?
Then it has become very clear. It is not only the India which is saying that Donald Trump had no role in getting the ceasefire done between India and Pakistan. India has been time and again telling that it is a DGMO Pakistan which has requested for a ceasefire, and India, since it has already achieved the military and political objective, agreed to it. But Donald Trump has been more than 20 times, he has claimed that it was Donald Trump who has basically ensured that there is a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, giving an excuse of trade. Now it has become crystal clear. It is Pakistan also saying the same thing, but India was saying earlier that Donald Trump had no role. He says that Pakistan has not been told by anyone. Pakistan has not even said or requested anyone for ceasefire. So it is crystal clear. It is a Pakistan DGMO which requested Indian DGMO, and that's how the ceasefire took place. So now Donald should realize it. There are two parties involved in India and Pakistan, and both have claimed now the third party has no role in that. They have never said or requested any other country for ceasefire. It is basically the DGMO Pakistan which requested India on 10th May. And why did he request it? Because they were in a very poor state. Because after India hit the 11 leading airfields, especially Noor Khan, Sargodha, and also Bulwari and Rahim Yar Khan and Jacobabad and Kardu, they were on their knees. They knew it. Their airfield was not present. They couldn't fight. So they requested for ceasefire. So it is crystal clear that Donald Trump had not involved in ceasefire between India and Pakistan. It is only Pakistan and India which were there involved. It was Pakistan DGMO which requested Indian DGMO for ceasefire, and we agreed because we have already achieved military and political objective.
Right. Sir, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. I'm also joined on the phone line by Patrick Payne, who is a strategic affairs expert. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Mr. Payne. How do you see the statement coming in from Ishaq Dar, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister, saying Pakistan did not ask anyone to arrange talks with India at a time when, Donald Trump has been repeating ad nauseum that it was him who actually ensured that there was a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. It was him who ensured that it does not turn into a war between both these countries.